Yup, I'm back. Last time we explored the mysteries of Promised Forest Arc, and this time we'll be searching for one of the biggest mysteries in the series with the Search of Minerva arc. The reason I sighed at the beginning is because I've had a really busy week this last week, and I hope this long anticipated arc for me can make up for such a long week. So without any more hesitation, let us begin.
Ain't he beautiful, Sal?
Okay, so this arc was intense, yet so amazing. So let's begin. So remember the guy we saw at the end of the Promised Forest arc? Yeah, until his name is revealed, I'm gonna call this guy a fucker, because this guy is a real fucker, to be honest. The first thing he does when he speaks to the kids is to tell them to leave, and when Emma is trying to talk to him, he pulls out a fucking gun and threatens to kill Emma. Seriously, what a fucking wanker. Anyways, Emma does the most ballsy move and frees herself by elbowing the fucker in the nuts, which knocks him out. After being scolded by Ray and Gilda for doing some stupid stuff, they tie up fucker and start exploring the bunker. A day goes by in the bunker and the kids learn that B0632's bunker is filled with food, water, a place to sleep, and has a few secrets up its sleeves that we will explore later. As the kids are trying to discuss how they're gonna save the younger ones from the orphanage, they find a note that gives them a hint that Minerva isn't in the bunker, but he might be at a different location. A0163. The younger kids are pissed, but the older kids discuss how they will get to A0863. Also, fucker returns really quickly, freeing himself and threatening the kids to leave the bunker before he kills them. Emma and Ray decides to not threaten the fucker, but instead Ray holds up a remote he found, which turns out to be a self-destruction button, which will blow up the entire bunker. This is such a ballsy move, but Ray tells fucker that they need his help to get to A0163, or else the bunker will blow up. Fucker is not on board, but he reluctantly agrees. Honestly, I don't like fucker as a character, but we'll see later in the arc he is well written, and there's a reason for him being a cold, crappy bastard. Also related to fucker, but in the room we saw earlier, we can see the word poacher, along with a bunch of names on there. I want everybody that hasn't read this arc, but still watching this review, to take notes of these names, because they will be very important later in this arc. Anyways, Emma, Ray, and fucker are the three who leaves, while the other kids stay back and take care of the bunker. And as they leave, Gilda reminds fucker that if anything happens to Emma, Ray, or both, then she will press the button and blow the entire bunker sky high. And it was right before they depart, fucker shows Emma and Ray a hidden room which is filled with firearms and weapons. Looking at this room makes you think it looks more and more like an American's wet dream room. Anyways, fucker tells them to pick a weapon to bring with them, and due to their small size, they both bring a knife. Emma brings a small gun with 4 muzzles, and Ray brings a sort of automatic weapon. Look, I might be wrong with what weapons they are, but I am not familiar with guns and what they do, so if I said something wrong, then I'm sorry for not being a fucking gun nut. Anyways, the three depart and sprint towards the location, which I said earlier is A0863, also known as Goldie Pond. This name is important for the rest of the arc. Anyways, while sprinting, fucker thinks of getting one of them killed. But what he doesn't realize is that Ray and Emma already speculate that he's going to try to kill at least one of them. But what those two don't realize is that fucker already has a plan to get one of them killed. Anyways, they enter this big forest, which, by the way, Sunju and Mujika warned them to not enter another forest. And yet they trust fucker's judgment. They encounter these man-eating demons, and when I read this I was like, wait, aren't they just regular demons? And oh boy, I was wrong, since these demons react to sound and can regenerate themselves. Like, what? And while being chased by these demons and fucker doing absolutely nothing, that fucking bastard, Ray realized that the eyes middle of the demon is how you defeat them. And this is thanks to him remembering what Sun Tzu told him about humans from 1,000 years ago being able to defend themselves from demons. Fucker, who planned to at least let one of them die and save the other one, was impressed with its quick thinking, yet a bit pissed off that none of them died. However, this was more of a setup for his actual plan, as we will see later. After surviving for days in the forest with little food that they brought and found in the forest, and as lack of sleep due to being constantly constantly hunted by demons. During one of these nights, Emma decides to have a heart-to-heart with Fucker, which ends up with both of them screaming at each other, and Emma mentioning Norman and how she knows how it feels to lose someone. After this shonen protagonist speech, she is suddenly snatched by poachers, who found out where they were thanks to Fucker's actions when they fought the man-eating demons. Ray wants to save Emma immediately, but Fucker tells him straight up that they can't because she is stuck in Goldie Ponds. Meanwhile, Emma wakes up in what we will later know as Goldie Ponds, and she learns of the rules of Goldie Ponds, which are music, monster, survive. And she meets this person who tells her to hide. Emma decides to ignore this person's advice and run towards a place where these two kids are surrounded by demons. She throws an axe at the main demon, which allows the two kids along with the third one who's hiding behind a tree to escape. This arc also confirms what Goldie Ponds is. Goldie Pond is a secret hunting ground for these rich snobby demons, which is made for hunting and devouring children, in a similar style to how demons did it before farm system was made. So these poachers bring kids in here so this rich demon named Bion could hunt for kids with his demon's friends for the old school style of this, which is the most fucked up thing, but it makes sense. But it also makes me wonder how Minerva's intentions are, since it was Minerva who most likely got some of these kids trapped here. Anyways, as the music still goes, Bion tries to hunt down Emma, but fails to do so since the music stops. Turns out 4 out of the 50 kids died. Which, that's not, might not sound that bad, but then you realize that 2 of them were the 2 out of 3 of the kids that Emma had to save. The third one was spared to warn Emma. This messes with Emma mentally, but the person who told Emma to hide tells Emma to follow them. Emma follows this person to the windmill, where they are introduced to new group characters, which I will dub the Goldie Pond Destruction Group. This group consists of Adam, Pepe, Nigel, Sonia, Sandy, Zach, Paula, Gillian, Oliver, and Violet, which surprises Emma since she thought Violet was a guy. There's also another person who is the adult of the group, which we will talk about soon. We also learned that most of the people in Goldie Ponds are from a premium farm called Grand Valley, and only 3 out of the people here aren't from that Grand Valley. Adam, who is most likely from a mass production farm, which was mentioned back in Prime's Forest arc. Emma, who's from Gracefield, obviously, and the adult of the group, Lucas. And hearing that, you might ask, who? I asked the same question, but then you realize Lucas was one of the names on the wall that Fucker was looking at. And it turns out, unlike what we thought, that Fucker was the only survivor from his group. Another person from his group survived, which was Lucas. This is big, and I can't wait for Fucker and Lucas to reunite. Lucas also tears up when he learns that Fucker is still alive. Anyways, Lucas decides to show Emma something that requires the pen to open. Once they open it, they find the actual Goldie Ponds is beneath hunting grounds. And another thing we also get to see and hear in this case is a pre-recording from none other than William Minerva. And you might ask, wait, pre-recording? This is a phone! And to that, I gotta say, I know. But this phone has a pre-recording message from Minerva, who reveals that Minerva was an alias, and his real name is James Rattray. He is the 35th head of the famous Rattray family, which was a clan of humans who helped maintain the demon world. Basically a clan that betrayed humans. However, James wanted many kids to escape as possible, so this means he's an ally. However, his brother, who would eventually become the 36th head, found out about his betrayal, and he got James killed. So it turns out Minerva is dead, but his actions will leave an impression and possibly help other kids from escaping this demon world. So goodbye, Minerva. You might be long gone, but never forgotten. Anyways, Lucas tells everyone about him and Emma's discovery. And while this is happening, Emma and Violet looks at Adam saying numbers. Turns out Adam is saying the number 22194, which turns out to be Norman's number. And literally the next chapter after this, it is confirmed that Norman is alive. Woo! Yeah, baby! I mean, I did kind of predict this back in Jailbreak arc. Anyway, sure, Norman is alive, but he's currently a lab rat for Peter Rattray's lab, who is Minerva's brother. He has no way of escaping, but he is optimistic that Ray and Emma might still be alive. Also, I feel like Adam might have a connection to the area that Norman is in right now, but that's just a theory right now. Game theory. No, I'm kidding. And yeah, that's it for now. Next time, I will experience hopefully the rest of the story within the Goldie Ponds with the Goldie Pond battle arc. But until then, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.